Well, the season is finally going to end soon. Thank God. What is going on YouTube? It is your boy ThunderBuddy29 here, back today with another video. And today I'm going to be doing the video that a lot of you expected, some of you have been demanding me to make. And today I'm going to be giving my final review of Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3, as we are now just about a week and a half away from the season ending, as we would go on to Chapter 4, Season 4. And let me just say right off the bat, thank God. Just thank God that the season is almost over, because this season just absolutely fucking sucked. Like, this season was just so horrendous and so boring. I thought Chapter 3, Season 3 was bad, but I never thought that they were going to make a season worse than that. But unfortunately, they did, because that's why we're here right now. And today I'm going to be giving my full reasons of why I think this season sucked. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to say, I hope you enjoy the videos that you see here on the channel. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button down below, subscribe, share this with your friends, and hit that bell so you will never miss another video. And of course, join the channel today for as low as $2 a month. It really helps out the channel, and it helps keep the amazing content going. Join today, link in the description below. But anyways, we got a lot to get into in this video, so without further ado, let's begin, shall we? Alright folks, so honestly, I don't even know where to begin. This is a video I've been wanting to make for quite a while, but the reason why I waited until now to do so is because I was hoping that maybe they'll get their act together in the second half of the season. But no, they didn't. And the real question is, why does the season suck? Well, let's jump right into it, starting off with reason number one, and that is the lack of content. Now, this was arguably the number one worst thing about this season. This is where it all really went wrong. Because the season was just so dry, it was so boring. It had little to no content at all. And there were only like 3 major updates during that whole entire season. And what was really embarrassing was out of those 3 major updates, 2 of them were crossovers, which was at the end of the season, by the way. And the summer update that we got back in July, that update itself was a complete fucking joke. I mean, I thought last year's summer update was boring, but at least we had more content. At least the map was decorated summer themed. Hell, we had a stage area. But instead this season, all we got was one tiny little square in the middle of the fucking jungle with giant spray paints of Meowscles and Peely. And that's it. And that's what they call a summer update? Like, what a complete joke. And that was the worst summer event Fortnite had ever done. And meanwhile, during most of the season, you had so many people complaining to Epic about the lack of mobility and the overpowered weapons in the loot pool, which I'll talk about the loot pool in a second. And so many people, time and time again, were demanding Epic to address these problems and fix them. But what was Epic's response to most of them? Pretty much nothing. And they would not address the lack of mobility problem until the end of the season, when they finally decided to add in the grapple glove. I mean, I'm grateful that they added in the grapple glove, but the question is, why did they not just do that to begin with? Like, why did it take them that long to do so? And that was honestly pretty embarrassing. And the fact too that they cared more about spamming crossovers than they cared about addressing the basic problems that people have been demanding them to fix since day one. If Epic would have just added in more content this season and addressed the problems that people have been demanding them to fix, this season definitely would have been better, instead of being the shit show that it was. And a second thing I want to talk about is, of course, the loot pool. Because I definitely cannot forget how fucking horrendous the loot pool was. I mean, the only items that I really had no problem with during this season at all was the thermal DMR, the lever action shotgun, which came back later in the season, and the flapjack rifle to a certain extent. The only complaint about the flapjack rifle was it sucked at long range, but at medium to close range it was fine. But other than those, this loot pool has been a giant clusterfuck. It has been mostly dominated by overpowered spam shit. Most notable example, the drum shotgun. That gun was so spammy and annoying and overpowered to the point people were demanding Epic to at least nerf it or take it out of the game. But what did Epic do about that? Once again, nothing. And speaking of summer update, shortly before that, they took the heavy sniper out of the game, which was the only sniper of the season, and replaced it with the explosive repeater rifle. At first, I thought it was an okay gun and it deserved its chance to be in the game, but it should not have been the weapon that replaced the heavy sniper, because this gun felt like more of a shotgun than it was a sniper. Why do you think people double pumped with it? The only time that this gun became overpowered and annoying was when people were camping on top of mountains with it. And on top of all that, the most annoying thing about this loot pool of all were the crossover mythics, like the Cybertron cannon from Optimus Prime that lasted the whole entire season, while the other ones were temporarily, but they were back to back at the end of the season. Like a couple weeks ago, they did the Futurama collab. We had Bender's ray gun, which was pretty much the bootleg version of the alien gun from Chapter 2 Season 7, but this gun was fucking overpowered as shit, and that got taken out, and then immediately after that, then we have this anime collab, and now we're dealing with their mythics as well. I mean, I usually don't bash crossovers as much as I used to. I don't care about them as much as I used to, but the only real general problem I have with crossovers nowadays is that they have to force their mythics in the game. And it's the same typical shit that they've been doing every single season since Chapter 4 started. Like I said before, Chapter 4 Season 1, My Hero Academia, you had Deku Smash. Chapter 4 Season 2, you had the Attack on Titan mythics. And this season, during the whole entire season, you had the Cybertron cannon from Optimus Prime. Like, did we really need more overpowered mythic weapons when we already had overpowered weapons in the loot pool and the Cybertron cannon? And they cared so much more about that instead of fixing their own loot pool or addressing the mobility problem. And not addressing the mobility problem until the very end of the season by adding in the grapple glove. Like, it was pretty embarrassing that it took them that long to address the mobility problem. And the final reason why I did not like this season was the huge amount of third partying. Like, holy hell. I thought the third partying in Chapter 3 Season 3 was bad, or any other season I had played before, but this season, it was like the worst I had ever seen it. And it just completely made the season unenjoyable and unplayable, especially when you landed in the new jungle areas. You were constantly getting shot at from people camping in trees, camping on top of mountains, camping in bushes. It was almost like you were playing a Vietnam War simulator. There were a ton of moments during my live streams, you can see how many times we had gotten third partied, and it was absolutely insane. And I know that the third partying is not Epic Games' fault, there's nothing they can do about that, but the only thing that they can do about it, or maybe reduce it a little bit, is get rid of the skill-based matchmaking system. Keep that in competitive game modes, not in the casual game mode. And for my final thoughts and conclusion, this season was just a huge mega disaster. It was a disaster that should have never happened in the first place. This was the most driest season I have ever played when it came to the lack of updates. Like, if they would have just added in more content this season, if they would have fixed the basic problems, like the overpowered weapons in the loot pool and the lack of mobility, it could have been a decent season, but unfortunately, it wasn't. The best way to describe this season, it was like a blast from the past. It's like if Chapter 3 Season 1 and Chapter 3 Season 3 had a baby. With the lack of content this season and overpowered weapons in the loot pool. That is the best way to describe this season. I mean, I tried so hard to enjoy this season and appreciate this season for what it was, but it eventually had gotten to the point I was just like, I can't. This season had gotten so bad to the point that even the Fortnite community was getting so burnt out, and this was the most burnt out I've seen the Fortnite community since Chapter 3 Season 3. And I had never thought that they were going to make a season more boring than that. But unfortunately, my nightmare came true. But for my final rating of the season, I would definitely at least give it a 3 out of 10, maybe a 4 out of 10 at most. And the reason why I'd give it that instead of a 0 was because the map. The map was the only thing that was great about the season, and the changes were great. But unfortunately, it just wasn't a great season. And I hope next season won't be as bad as this one. But what do you guys think of this season? Did you enjoy it or did you hate it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you to all the amazing channel members listed on screen here. And if you guys enjoyed or agree with this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications so you'll never miss another video. Follow me on X. I'm still getting used to that. I love you guys and I appreciate all the support you've been giving me, especially during this season. And one final thing. Stay tuned, there will be a discussion stream sometime this weekend, and I hope to see you there, as we are now closing in on 6,330 subscribers. Once again, I love you all to death. Thank you all so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video. And this is ThunderBuddy29. Sign off.